Meeting. All right. Hello, hello. Hey there. Yay, we have two viewers already. Very exciting. Happy Monday to viewers. I'm seeing green dots for the audio, so it looks like the audio is good, which is wonderful. If you're listening in, let me know where you're listening from. Exciting to know where everyone is based. Ah, hey Adam, how's it going? Good to see ya. Alrighty, so I'm getting my stuff together. Give me 1 second. I just got in from the weekend. It's exciting. Had a good weekend. Saw the new West Side Story. That was cool. It was okay. I'm not a musical person, but it was a good movie. It was a Spielberg movie. It's very good. Recommend if you like musicals. Yeah. Okay. So on to the financial independence updates section. So couple of things. So I titled this stream, Hey everyone, welcome. Looks like I've got 3 viewers. Very exciting. You can see my bed in the background and my exercise mat there too. So welcome. Hey John Brooks. Hey Anthony, Frame of Mind. Hey guys. So financial independence, retire early, and where I am, the updates, and this surprising thing that I learned. So Playmakers Music Mashups. Good morning. Hello. Love that name. Very interesting. I feel like there is sort of a business behind that, but very cool. So the surprising thing, I'll start with the surprising thing. This was kind of clickbaity, I know, but it genuinely surprised me and I am implementing it now. So I've got my spending and sort of project notebook out. This is the surprising thing that I learned. 2 minutes in and I'm giving it to you right now. So the surprising thing I learned was this. Just because you cut out expenses doesn't mean you will spend less, doesn't mean you'll be in a better position. And here also this is what I learned and how it played out in my life. I'm getting a pencil. I just feel better if I have a pencil in my hand. I feel more equipped. So I looked at my spending for September, October, and November. Did some sort of forensic accounting on my own personal spending because I have a budget and I track my expenses, but it's a process to actually reconcile the two, my budget and then my spending. That can take some time. So I did that for September, October, November, and then I did that before December, so November 30th. And then I put a plan in place for my December spending, which we're almost to the halfway point in the month. So I'm excited to check back in on that because I'm feeling like already December is going very well. So here's how it played out. And this is where we kind of get into the controversial parts of, I guess, me and my channel and what I believe and how I spend my money. So if you've been watching me for any length of time, you know this about me, is consider myself a person of faith. And it's very important to me to tithe money, to give money to a church. And that has played out I've been doing that since I was on this getting out of debt journey for the past 7 to 10 years. And I've always given 10% or more as I can. So not as I can, 10% of my income goes out. And people say, oh, well, God doesn't need your money. No, God doesn't need my money at all. I need to give that money away back to the source from which it came for my own edification, for my own learning, because welcome if you're just joining. This is the surprising thing that I learned this month. So, and it's on the topic of tithing because I tithe for me. I don't tithe because God needs my money. I tithe because I live and move and have my being in the God that I serve. So it just reminds me of what's really important. So, and again, I know this is controversial. So because I've kind of been transitioning in and out, not in and out of a church, but I was part of a church for 11 years. It was the longest I'd ever been part of a church for my adulthood. And I had given 10%, faithfully to this church. transitioning out of this church and was looking for a place to tithe. And I settled on one church, and some stuff happened, some personnel changes happened, and I stopped giving because I didn't know where else to give. So, and this was back in August, actually, exactly in August. And I kind of talked it over with important people in my life, and I was like, I don't really have a place to give. And a very important person said, well, just save it or just use it to bank it or pay down debt. Because spoiler alert, I still have my student loans. I'm credit card debt free, consumer loan debt free, but I still have student loans, which is not exciting. And to be honest, not something that I'm super focused on paying off because they're at like 1% interest. So I would much rather have the amount of the student. It's like $12,000. I'd much rather, hello, Sab, hello. I would much rather have that amount banked in the bank than paying off my student loans because there's no way I could get a loan for that amount on that interest rate. So that's a separate topic. But this person advised that I either bank the money or set it aside to start paying on my student loans eventually when I'll have to. So I'm trying to move so my exercise mat isn't in the shot. So that was what I decided to do from September onward. I said, you know what, let me just bank this amount. And it wasn't a huge amount that I was tithing. It was like $300, which is roughly 10% of my take home. So I thought, oh, this will put me in a better financial position. I'll be able to save more because I've cut out this expense, with fully sanctioned by the people in my life. And I thought that I would be in a better financial position. Not the case. Not the case at all. And coaching your life into greatness. Yes, coaching your life into greatness. Yes, you don't need to tithe to a church. You can give 10% associations to associations that plant trees, clean the ocean. Yes, sure. Yes, 100%. For me, it was important that I know the organization that I was giving to, and to be honest, I didn't do the research to see, to find an organization like a World Vision or something that sponsors children. And I didn't really want to be giving to administrative fees that I didn't know about because in my church, I knew all the people that were getting these fees, like the 100% of the amount and I would cover the service fee that was incurred from my online donation. 100% of that amount went towards church that I knew. So for me, that administration kind of mattered. But yes, 100%, you don't need to give it to a church. The process of giving away money to a cause greater than yourself is just hugely important. So the interesting thing that happened for me when I stopped tithing, that 10% for September, October, and November, was I thought I would be in a better financial position. 100% not the case. Now, just for context, these 2 months, October, November, are very tend to be seasonally high because their birthdays in that month. That's the only reason. My birthday's in that month. I have family birthdays in November, so I feel like, oh, I'm just not justified, but there are more expenses for that month. Adam, yes, it's annoying. Annoying SS. Hello, Adam. Yes, it's important to me, and I think that what I learned from this is yes, it's not only my convictions, but that my convictions are backed by by sort of financial hard numbers. The data doesn't lie. So for the months of September, October, and November, I actually spent roughly 30 to 40% more than I brought in. And I covered that by dipping into my savings, which I did not want to do, but I ended up doing anyway. And some of these were like yearly upcoming business expenses, which only happen once a month or once a year. Fine. But in summary, just because I cut out this one outgoing expense of this tithe does not mean I was in a better financial position. And this occurred to me in November when I spent over $1,100 over my budget. I was like, this is ridiculous. Let me stop this right now. Let me get back to tithing. And just as an experiment, as sort of a scientific experiment, let me see what happens. So this month, December, I went back to tithing. And just the process of having to set out that budget and then reconcile that budget and stay very close to that budget made me immediately pay attention and immediately made my discretionary spending go down. And already I'm doing much better this month. It's 13th of the month that than I was last month. So that's what is surprising to me, is that not only is it a conviction that's important to me, but it's also something that I've seen borne out in the numbers. So that was kind of interesting and kind of revealing, ultimately encouraging, because every time I kind of have a realization, it's always encouraging, even if the realization isn't the greatest. Sab, in your opinion, if someone can't meet their monthly commitments, are they justified in not tithing, as in they don't have enough to cover everything they need and are negative per month? So this is an interesting question because I was in that position myself. And some people say, oh, well, you can tithe your time, you can tithe your energy. Ultimately, it's up to you. It's up to the person individually, as are most things. We have free will. So if you feel like you can't meet your monthly commitment, if you can't meet your monthly commitments, then take care of your own house first. At the same time, I know when I was in that position, it was I had to do a lot of um, really deep introspection and say, okay, why can't I meet my monthly commitments? For me, again, it was because I had debt to pay off that I had to that I held myself accountable for. But it's at the time I was having trouble making my minimums because I didn't have a job at that point. I was waiting to try to go overseas, and I didn't want to take a permanent job because I didn't want to have to leave it to go overseas. So that was a situation for me. I knew it was temporary. So at that point, I wasn't tithing, and that was like a 9-month period many years ago. But as soon as I got the job, 10% of that went out, and then I just paid the minimums as I could. So for me, again, it's whatever you feel. But in my opinion, and when I was in that position, I did have to do a lot of thinking about why I couldn't meet my monthly obligations, what I could do about that, and then how I was going to change going forward. And then now, I just say 10% off the top. And that's just me. That's how I have learned, again, through trial and error, to do this. And again, fully transparently, I did not tithe for September, October, and November, and I was on a negative financial trajectory. So that's kind of everything. I see that borne out again and again in my life. Minnie, hello. I got a new microphone. Nope, I've always had this. This is the Yeti mic, Blue Yeti. And I love it. So highly recommend. Yeah, we have 15 people watching. Woohoo! If you could do me a huge favor and tap that like button, that would be a huge help to me and my channel. It helps get the word out and helps with the algorithm. So please hit that like button. Looks like Tesla stock is on a steep discount today, Harry Chu. Yes, interesting. Very, very interesting. Sab, thank you. Oh, you're very welcome for my thoughtful response. I was there. I 100% was there, so I can 100% identify. Yes, Harry, lots of stocks are on a steep discount. Very interesting. So this is actually something I'm trying to be more active in my investment portfolios. So I just started using my Coinbase account. I've had one for a while now. So I just started using it. And the first thing I just bought some Bitcoin because I have a friend. Oh gosh, I have an acquaintance who had something like a $300,000 initial investment in Bitcoin. This is years ago. I want to say over like 4 or 5 years. It's now worth 1.5 million. So I'm like, oh, good for him. What do they say? The best time to start investing is now. It's like planting a tree. The best time to plant a tree was 20 years ago. The second best time is right now. So that's what I'm doing too. So actually, let me look up Tesla. What is the TCA? Okay. Thank you for that, Harry Chu. I might add some in. Where do I do my speculative investing? TD Ameritrade, actually. That is where I do my spec investing. Interesting. Okay. Performance outlook, short term, down. Okay, where are they year to date? Yeah, they've been on a pretty steady upward climb. So yes, 100%, they're on a discount. Mini TransUnion says my credit score is now 657 after a Canadian bankruptcy. Yes, I don't know if it's different for Canadians and Americans, Minnie. It's a good question, or a good statement. I'd say it's I don't know if I would say it's easy to rebuild build credit. I feel like credit's like your GPA. It's really easy for it to go down. It's not so easy for it to come up, but congratulations to you. Really, really great, great progress. Simplicity is key, not down on crypto, but speculative investing versus paying off student loans, pay off the loans. Um, okay. That's certainly what Dave Ramsey would say. Yeah, I would think that Dave Ramsey would agree with that for sure. Minnie, the whole bankruptcy system is different. Oh, what? Canada includes student loans in a bankruptcy. Oh, Canada. Oh, Canada is all I have to say. Not that there's anything wrong with that. LOL. Yes. Sure. Yeah. Pay off your loans or invest. I know, and I will give her channel a shout out at all day long. Rebecca Black. I don't know why her name's not Black. Rebecca. Investing. Rebecca's Quest to Fire. Um, Rebecca. Yeah. Rebecca's Quest to Fire channel. Oh my gosh, she's such an inspiration. She just did both. She paid off her student loans and has a healthy investment portfolio. So it is possible to do both. So that's actually an interesting topic because Rebecca does third shift work and is able to earn overtime. So on the one hand, I'm not I wouldn't be the best for shift work, but that overtime is sweet, man. That's such a good deal. Many, but you have to be out of school for 7 years to include your student loans. Well, that's still pretty sweet. You Canadians, socialized medicine. I mean, you guys got a good thing going on. I follow third shift work does pay more. Yes, it does indeed. If I knew of a job, I say I do know of a job. So my sister actually briefly worked at Amazon doing third shift, and she hated it. And I feel like I would be the same because that's just I used to be a third shift on the third shift in college. I actually used to work as a night proctor, and I loved it. I would work from 11 to 6, and it was great. I watched movies and wrote, and just people would. I mean, I think in the 6 months or years that I worked there, I got maybe a handful of people signing in when they came in. So that was my job. Pratik, what have you learned about how to grow a YouTube channel? Ugh, well, not a whole lot. Yeah, it's great. No Limit 3. I believe you said you wanted to be a millionaire, multimillionaire. Well, within 10 years, I'd settle for a millionaire within 10 years, but if I could do multi-million, that would be awesome. Pratik, yes. And how to monetize it. Monetize it, yes. So I have actually learned something, and that is consistency is key. That's just the number one thing is to be consistent. And there's this concept called a YouTube orbit, which is where you post a video a day for 365 days. And apparently that's a huge way for your channel to go viral. So I'm actually thinking about that. But just being consistent and you might get lucky and to be consistent and to stick to one or a few topics, not to be kind of all over, but to stick to that one topic. So those are the three things I've learned. Consistency, stick to a topic, and if you can do an orbit, do it. And how to monetize, just be consistent. That's it. And then comment on other people's videos. Things have changed since I started. I've been doing this for almost 6 years, so things are different now. But consistency is still key. Simplicity is key. Could you keep tithing since it's really important to you, and then take your individual stock balances in crypto to put towards your student loans? Paying off your loans is a guaranteed return. I don't and I hear what you're saying, simplicity is key. I just paying off my loans, a guaranteed return. But it's not. You don't. Like once that money's gone, it's gone. So and it's not an emergency fund. So yes, pay it's very important. It's just not kind of my priority at the moment because I don't really see that it would have returns. Um, Minnie, I worked from 12 a.m. to 8 a.m. for a call center making 15 an hour and the minimum wage, yep, was 8.75. Yes. Yes, in 2008, yes. I worked at a YMCA back in 2008 as well, and I worked either from 6 to 11 p.m. after my day job or the Saturday morning from like 8 a.m. to like 12. And the same, I got 15 an hour too back in 2005. Yes, most of your videos are viewed by suggested viewers. Yep. Sab, the content for 365 days in a row would be so difficult to think of. Yes. Yes, 100%. So where I first heard of this concept was from um, Cupcake Training's channel, and her name is Renee. So it's an interesting concept. I'm sure there's more on that. I haven't researched it, but she's the one where I first heard of it. And yes, it would be challenging, but and this is awful because at first I thought I was going to take completely stop YouTube in the new year. Not stop, but stop uploading regularly. I just upload once a week, and I'm like, sometimes coming up with content once a week can be challenging. But here's another thing that I've learned. I feel like doing content daily would be less challenging than doing it once a week because you get into that habit and you're just kind of this is what you do, especially if you're just like daily vlogging. But the thing with Renee was she's doing like in-depth video or business, personal, small business type content that's actually very solid. So some of her daily videos were just kind of day in the life type stuff, which is easier than say finance stuff for sure. But you might see. The content, yes. You have a primary niche and you have 3 topics in that niche. Yep, absolutely. Thanks, Minnie. Good answer. No limit. Anyone only that's so funny. No limit 3. Has anyone told me I look like the actress Gina Davis from Thelma and Louise? No, but that's probably the best compliment I've gotten in a long time. I have never heard that before. So thank you. That's kind of amazing. I kind of love that a lot. I've got like my day job. I'm on a lunch break, guys. It's a lunch break. Um, but yes, that's wonderful. I love Gina Davis. She is. Am I related to her? That's adorable. No, I am not. I have no relation to Gina Davis. But that would be cool if I did. She is gorgeous. I agree. So thank you very much for that compliment. Um, yeah. So plans for YouTube going forward, I am not sure. But I can tell you, I am working on getting a new product out, for you guys, and a new sort of program that I'm working on. So more to come on that. Ideally, if I get my butt get working, it should be. My plan is to have it ready to go by the 15th, which is in 2 days. So yay, 13 thumbs up. Yes, exciting. Yes, if you are new to the stream, please, please, please click the thumbs up button, like this stream. It's a huge help to the algorithm. It pushes the video out to more people, and it's a huge help to me. So thank you very much. No limit. Are you still in the digital marketing industry? Yes. I mean, that's what I'm doing right now. I sure am. Yes, and at the moment, that's what I'm doing. Which this is really, if you're online, you're in the digital marketing industry. It's like we're all in sales. We're all in sales. We're all in marketing. We're all marketing ourselves, right? Simplicity is key. What I mean is that anything you can pay towards your student loans will be debt you won't have any longer. Sure, yes, it's debt you won't have any longer. There is no return though. There's no financial return. Whereas in the stock market, so say my loans are $10,000 and I put that $10,000 into the stock market at a 22% return for the year, which is what I've been making, I will have an additional $2,200. Whereas if I pay off my student loans, I will have $0. So that's what I mean by there's no financial return. But yes, it's a huge, huge sort of weight off to not have that anymore. If money's in the market, there's a chance it could be lost or lose value, therefore no longer having value. And you'll still have the debt. I used to think this too. And yes, there's always kind of a chance. I want to say that's not entirely true though. Especially if you invest in index funds like I do, there's no for the money to go away that would mean that our financial system has completely collapsed. At what point you have bigger problems, like at which point society is crumbled. So the only way that the initial investment into an index fund would go away is if the financial system of the world collapsed. So that's at which point you're no longer worrying about your student loan balance either. So again, I used to think that too, but that's not. I mean, there again, it's true, but if that happens, we're all screwed. So that's kind of something just to keep in mind. Again, paying off student loans is a great personal feeling, but you do not have any returns from that. No limit 3, who do you work and do you do PPC or SEO work? I do account management. So I work with teams that do PPC and SEO, and I know the basics of them, but I am not, I don't do either one of those things. Jesus, have you heard of YNAB? Yes. You need a budget. If yes, what's your opinion? I like them. I have friends that I respect that like them too. So yes, I'm a fan of any type of planning or budgeting system for sure. Sab, I'm in Canada, and there aren't many Canadians starting from low income with content. Yes, it's a challenge. Sab, I'm in the UK, and I think we are more similar to Canada than the US. Yes, you certainly are, for sure. Um, Jealous of you guys sometimes. I'm really jealous. I feel like you guys have that's clearly a much better medical system. Jesus, thanks. Yes, yes. Yeah, do what works for you. No limit 3. Are you single? Yes, I'm not married. I am not married yet. So yes, just curious. LOL. Thanks for your explanation. Yes, simplicity is key. This is because I feel like Dave Ramsey does a big disservice to his followers in this. Which again, many people have pointed this out. And I'm not really on the bashing Dave Ramsey train because he's great for what he does. Yes, it's so true. I don't know what you do without the National Health Service, even with the taxes we pay for it. So true. You guys pay like 40% taxes though, so you pay for it. But I mean, it's 100% better than being mired in debt. And in the marketplace, because I had marketplace healthcare in the US, I was paying more than that for my marketplace basic coverage. So yes, um, that is you guys have a good deal in Canada and the UK for healthcare. The medical system is not perfect. Yes, there are waiting lists for months and months longer because of COVID. Yes, for sure. Um, Pluses and minuses, right? But mostly, you guys have a good thing. So, Dave bashing is popular these days, but I do think he's gotten much more mean over the last couple of years, so deservedly so. Yeah, I don't listen to him anymore. I don't even watch his content. I just don't. Jesus, do you think 4-day work week would make us more productive? Who knows? No, I don't think it would make us more productive because you're still working for someone else, right? So for me, the thing that made me most productive was this is a Zig Ziglar quote that regardless of who signs your paycheck, you are self-employed. Realizing that made me more productive. No limit 3, since you mentioned that you're single, I feel much better for today. Happy to help anytime. I'm also 38 years old. Or no, I'm 39 years old. So I don't know if that helps as well. Minnie, that's because Dave needs to retire 100% with you. 100% with you on that. Minnie, he's tired. Yeah. I also don't know if I feel like he needs the attention at this point. Again, I haven't watched him in years just because I don't really have an interest in him. Because I've kind of gotten on more the investing track. I watch a lot of Jim Cramer. Excuse me. So I watch some Jim Cramer. But he's more my speed than Dave Ramsey. I feel like Dave needs the platform. He likes to interact with his followers. He likes to give his opinion. So that's what Dave needs, I think. And I don't know if that is for that reason. I don't know if he could retire. No limit. I'm 44. Yes. Congrats. Oh my gosh, Sab, I miss Chris Hogan too. Poor guy. Poor guy. There's a little drama for you. I don't know if anyone that never heard of Jim. Yeah, Jim Cramer's a big stock guy. He's great. So he gives great practical advice for everyday people on stocks. He used to be a reporter, got into stocks as a hobby, had always been into them. And a fun story, he used to leave stock tips on his answering machines for his friends when he was like in his early 20s. Somebody was calling and wanted him to do a favor to write a story for them, and they heard his stock tip on his answering machine, and they called him back and they were like, forget about the story. I need to know more about you because the stock tip was great and it just made me a ton of money. So that's how he got his start in finances and in stocks. So then he became a hedge fund manager, smart guy. I think he went to Harvard, probably for journalism. So yeah, I really like him, really like his story, lives in Connecticut. He's cool. So yes, check out Jim Cramer. He's got some great books. I would highly recommend anything he's written. Yes. Minnie, Dave will make comments that should be muted. Yes. Yes. No Limit 3, but people say I look 10 years younger. You probably do. Jesus Dave retired his hair, but not his outdated financial advice. That is amazing. Yes, and that is a great comment. Yes, exactly. Hello, James. Hey, hey, hey. Oh, frame of mind. You went to law school. Yes, Jim Cramer went to law school. Yes, absolutely. Oh my gosh. I love that man. He's a lot of fun. He got skewered again in his early career. I think he worked for Goldman Sachs, maybe. And they did a profile. I forget, some magazine did a profile on him and ripped him apart for being part of this like new elite, and the firm had to fire him. Um, but like it was a complete slash job. This profile that ultimately got him fired. Because he was quoted as saying that he could, because he was so wealthy, he could buy whatever he wanted. And what he had said actually was, I can go into a grocery store and buy whatever I want. And just based on what I've seen from the last, the next 60 years of his life, that quote squares more um, with who he is. So yes, very interesting. Yeah, GS, good stuff. Yes. Sandra, hello. Caught you live. Yes, I'm so happy, Sandra. Hi, hi, hi. Good to see you, Sandra. Oh man, I feel like we're OGs, Sandra. I feel like we go back way back. So yay, I'm so happy that you caught the live stream too. Very exciting. Sandra, so to recap, figured out that I paused tithing for September, October, November, and my financial situation got much worse. Started up in December, and it's already back. So that's the surprising thing that I learned. My financial situation is already trending higher. What else have we talked about? Stocks, Tesla's on discount. Jim Cramer, Dave Ramsey needs to retire. Probably won't, because he needs the attention. Not bashing, just saying. And what else? I think that's it. I think that's what we talked about for this live stream. Uh-oh, I know, Dave bashing, right? Ooh, controversial. Oh, Sab, yo. The Chris Hogan thing, that was interesting. So, yes, exactly that. That was a recap. Chris Hogan, miss his voice. He got caught up in a personal scandal and was asked to retire from Dave Ramsey, the Lampo Group, because his values, quote, no longer aligned with the organization, which I understand. I'm sad about, but I understand. Not a fan of his anymore, right? Yep. Mm-mm. Yes. No Limit 3, real estate investing to reach your financial goals. Yes. So, interesting story. Chris Hogan did make a YouTube. Oh, interesting, Minnie. Chris Hogan did make a new YouTube video with another organization. Yes. I will follow up on him. I would follow him. I do follow him. He cared about his listeners. He always asked how they were. And then a follow up question. Yes. 100%. He seemed very compassionate and understanding. It's just a shame, because that's just a shame. I don't fault the Lampo Group for doing what they did. I would think it's hypocritical, because no one's perfect. At the same time, he was a public figure. So anyway, real estate investing. Yes. So I am part of a volunteer board, non-executive board, which is not compensated, for a local symphony. And so a gentleman on the board invested some money that the symphony got, and got like 54% returns. Not unheard of in the current climate, but the S&P has only returned about 25%. So I just emailed this guy randomly and was like, "Hey, what do you do?" He's like, "Call me, I'll talk to you." And I'm like, "Okay." And he advised real estate. So like he just kind of in his email back to me put in that he does some real estate investing. He said he prefers to make his own decisions. I'm like, "Okay." But he's retired and he does quite well. And I'm thinking, I'd love to get some insight on that. So I will report back on how this conversation goes, because I'm hoping to connect with him later this week. So I'm very excited. Sandra, oh, you say I'm awesome. I say you're awesome. So thank you. I really appreciate this. Yeah. So do I operate any businesses? I do. No Limit 3. I do operate a business, which this business, this well-behaved wallet business, which I am trying to expand and to build out, because I believe in this so much. I believe in financial empowerment. I believe in speaking to people honestly and openly about finances and how it affects everything in your life. So yes, this is what I This is a business I operate and I'm trying to do a better job of. Adam, thank you very much. Frame of mind. Dave fired Chris because he got sued for the same thing, which he fired the other employee who was female, but not Chris. Yeah. 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 Anthony, frame of mind. Yes. That's pretty much the way I heard it too. Was it, I mean, it was over a, I'm saying it was it, I mean, infidelity kind of thing, but yeah, the female employee got fired and then, yeah. So it's kind of awful. Yes, I do also operate my eBay store, although eBay's like got me up in arms because sales have not been great and I've been posting every day and I just kind of gave up because I'm doing this now. So no excuses. But I haven't sold anything on eBay in the past month. So that's kind of disheartening. You roll with the punches. The real estate investor could be your new close friend or sugar daddy. LOL. Yes. We're hoping. Here's hoping. If he could give me the benefit of his advice, that would be the best I could hope for, most I will hope for. Yes, John Brooks, catching the live stream is always awesome. Yes, thank you so much. Yes, Adam. Yes, and Etsy for sure. And this new product that I'm working on, I mentioned earlier, which I'm hoping to launch on the 15th. So fingers crossed. Watch this space. Ideally, next week I will be talking about this product and able to show it to you. It's a workbook for the new year. Yeah, so I'll hopefully be able to show it to you next week. But for this week, our time is drawing to a close. Very excited, so excited to talk with you. I will try to do this as often as I can. Lunchtime, 12 Eastern. It's very exciting. So yes, I love talking with you guys. So to the 21 of you that are here, please hit the like button before you go. It's a huge help and I really appreciate it. John Brooks, I work in construction and would love to get into real estate investing, but prices in my area, Toronto, are hard to be a part of. Yes, I would just do a real estate investment trust, REIT. So I'm hoping to be able to look into and share more about that to you. Sab, have a great day, everyone. Yes, indeed, everyone get after those financial independence goals. Yes, for the week. And I hope to catch you guys very soon, ideally tomorrow, if I can. Probably not. Tomorrow's a busy day, but we'll see. We'll see. I'll have something up by 9 a.m. if I can go live. It's a pleasure to be on your show. Yes, No Limits 3. Pleasure and happy to have you. Harry Chu, thank you. Woohoo. Everyone, Tesla's on sale. If you want to buy Tesla, buy Tesla. All right, Guy. Minnie, Key Living has an interesting homeownership option. There you go. Look at that. It's Canada. You Canadian guys. All right. Thank you, everyone, so much. Bye. Have a great day, everyone. Bye.